can't hold it during the interview. Like this.
Okay, whoops. So what's going on? What's going on, guys? It's your boy Tay, and I am here with
Katie.
from
Katie Reeds.
Yes, and welcome to another interview series. And I wanted to interview Katie Reeds not only because she's intelligent, but because she has a lot of knowledge that you guys can definitely utilize and use for your businesses, and especially for a lot of booksellers. I mean, I do sell books every once in a while, but I am definitely not an expert like Katie is when it comes to books. I will definitely give her credit. She has way more knowledge about selling books than I do. I mean, so with all that being said, I know a lot of people get started in selling books. That's like one of the main things people do when they get entering into the reselling market. Everybody just likes selling books. I mean, ask Jeff Bezos. That's how Amazon became the major company that it is today. So with all that being said, welcome Katie Reeds. Would you like to tell the people about yourself a little bit?
Hi guys, my name's Katie. I have been reselling since 2019 on like a part-time basis. I've always like resold in some way, but I dove into books exclusively, and I haven't really left books because it's what I know. I'm a reader by nature. I like writing. I've written a few books. So books are just what I know. I have a YouTube channel, Katie Reeds, and Instagram, and on my channel I pretty much just talk about reading, reselling, and writing.
Yes, and we will definitely have all of those links in the description box below so you guys can go follow Katie Reeds on all the platforms of your choosing. Again, she's on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook.
I think that's it.
Yeah, that's it. So yeah, make sure you go follow her up. So yeah, I do have some questions for you, Miss Katie. I'm gonna put you under the ringer here a little bit.
Okay, bring it on.
I did a little research, you know, and I wanted to come professional, you know. Just because I know you, that don't mean I know you. You know what I'm saying, guys? You know what I'm saying? But with all that being said, Miss Katie Reeds, what platforms do you sell on, and which ones do you recommend others to start selling on as well?
So I sell on Amazon, eBay, and I just recently started into Etsy. Amazon was surprisingly not the first platform I started on. I started on eBay. I received 4 huge totes of books from a friend that was moving from Michigan to Utah with her family. And I just figured, this is free stuff. What do I have to lose? Like, all I can do is make money off of them. The bookstores that are no longer even open now, which is crazy. The bookstores in our area, they were gonna give me like, for all 4 totes, like maybe $20 in store credit, and I'm like, I know I can make more money. So I just threw them up on eBay, and then in my research on YouTube, I dove in. Like, I had no idea about media mail or anything like that. I just dove in and listed. I think I even sent out some books like priority mail in the beginning. I just dove in. But in my research on YouTube, I was trying to find out more about how to, ship books properly from eBay and stuff like that. And that's how I came across Amazon. Everybody was talking about books, but only for Amazon. So I'm like, okay, well, maybe I'm in the wrong market. So I started Amazon about 3 months, 3 months after I started on eBay. I've only done FBA. I've never done merchant fulfilled. To me, it didn't make sense. Like, it made sense to have one platform where I actually stored things and one platform where I sent everything out. So I always ran them parallel that way. Yeah, and I've been pretty much just doing it ever since. I would suggest, if you want to start out, depending what you're looking to do, I would suggest just creating an account for both. You can create an individual account with Amazon, and just kind of give that a dabble, see how you like it. Create an account with eBay. It can be an individual account, doesn't have to be a store, and dabble with that and see how you like it. If you like both, then use both. If you like one or the other, then choose one or the other. They're both really good markets for books. Amazon just has, it's just a beast. It has a much bigger audience, but it's a little bit more work too than an eBay store.
So I guess my second question maybe has something to do with the first question. Was the books that you got for free, is that what initially got you into reselling?
Not really. What got me into reselling was my dad. So in middle school, high school, my dad was an eBay store owner. Like, he had a wholesaler's license. He did perfumes. He did books. He did just a lot of health and beauty items. And I remember at that age, like, helping my dad a lot with like shipments and orders and stuff like that. And so ever since then, like, I've always been flipping stuff. So Facebook Marketplace, before it was Facebook Marketplace, it was Facebook Groups. And I would flip stuff all the time, especially when, Izzy was really little and I was a single mom and I needed $20 for gas or something like that. I'd find some clothes or do something and sell it on Facebook. So Facebook was kind of what got me into flipping stuff, but I've known about eBay since forever. I've had an eBay account since like 2009, 2010. Like, I've had an eBay account forever. And I sold on eBay too. It was just different back then. You had to do a lot of auctions and it wasn't like a whole lot of buy it now. So, yeah, I guess like flipping, hustling, couponing, like all that stuff, all of that came from my parents. Both of my parents have always been into that.
So what do you like most as a bookseller?
The books. I like the product. Like, I have to sometimes be objective. I can't get emotional about a sale sometimes, because if I think a book is really, really cool, sometimes I get, stingy about offers and stuff like that. Like, no, this book is worth so much more than that, but I have to be realistic, look at profit margins, and just, you can't hand inventory forever. So, but yeah, I just truly enjoy the products. So I think that's what will always keep me in that category. Like clothing, like obviously I like wearing clothes, but selling clothes, I could never. It's just, I don't enjoy it. I feel like certain categories you have to genuinely enjoy, and books, clothing, like certain niches, you just genuinely have to enjoy it, and I just genuinely enjoy books.
So what is the best way, in your opinion, on how to research books to resell?
So it depends what platform you choose, like you get comfortable with. I would say that more modern books that have barcodes or ISBN numbers are going to be easier to like research on platforms, both eBay and Amazon. But Amazon is going to be a little bit, it's going to be your textbooks, your modern books, your nonfiction, stuff like that. eBay is really good for like vintage books that are no longer in print, or antique books. So researching like the values for those, there's tons of different ways, but essentially the apps give you the tools. Like eBay, you're going to look up your sold comps. There's other, ways that you can look at vintage and antique books, like, paid services like WorthPoint and stuff like that. And then for Amazon, you can use the Amazon Seller Central app. I used that for a really, really long time to figure out sales rank, to see if a book was worth it. I did eventually decide to purchase the software. So I use Scout IQ now for Amazon, but it's not necessarily something you have to have. So those tools are kind of already implemented into the apps already to kind of figure out values and if you should sell it or not. So it just takes time looking up stuff, just like anything else.
Okay, so now that I'm a bookseller and I know which are some of the best apps to look for, what are some of the best stores maybe I should search to find these books, or maybe like some of the best methods in order to be able to get free books or something?
Yeah, so my advice would be, like, if you're not naturally a book person and like you don't have a stockpile in your house, like you could go through and scan your own stuff first and kind of get familiar that way, or maybe sell some of your own stuff first. I would go to like Facebook Marketplace and look for people that are getting rid of books for free and kind of try it that way first. And then once you get comfortable, if capital is an issue for you, that's a really good thing too. By capital, I mean like having funds to purchase inventory. Not everybody has that right away, but they want to get into reselling. So that's a good way to get, you know, free inventory if you don't have the capital. If you do have funds to go out there, I would pass the thrift stores and go straight to the source. So libraries, schools, like the educational facilities that are getting rid of books or have books that they're constantly turning over or getting from the public. Libraries are a really, really good source for getting books, because sometimes if you offer to volunteer your time to help them with library sales, they'll let you have like a first pick before the sale even starts. So it's just about like making connections and thinking like, where would raw books that haven't been touched by a bunch of hands yet be? And the thrift store is a good place to find books for sure, but they're going to sort through them first before they put them on the shelves. I guess is kind of my point.
So a lot of people, they're afraid to get into reselling, or they don't understand how reselling can really, really help them. You know, when I met you, you were a single mother and you were doing reselling, not single no more, but you were a single mother and dealing with reselling. So when you were a single mother dealing with like the day-to-day, you had a job as well. So how many hours were you able to dedicate for your reselling business, like dealing with being a mom, the day-to-day with, you know, having to deal with your daughter Izzy and all of that?
Yeah, looking back on that, I don't know how I found time. I was going to school full time. I was high level in the corporate world working full time. And I have my daughter. Honestly, I just didn't, to be 100% honest, I didn't have a social life. I just chose reselling over like going out, or, you know, I just chose my business every weekend, I guess, is what I did. I didn't really have a social life. I mean, I met you through the internet, you know? It's not like I was out and about in South Carolina or something on vacation or whatever. I just chose my business every evening that I could when I wasn't dealing with school. And every weekend, like, you know, Saturdays and Sundays, that's what I did. I sourced on Saturdays, I listed and shipped on Sundays, and that was, you know, pretty much my life. And I mean, in the beginning, it was super exciting. There were some times where I had burnout. Obviously, every reseller has that. And I'm not saying like I never took breaks. Obviously, I take breaks, and you know, I don't know. I think that's why it was easy for me to give up a social life and dedicate to my business every weekend, because I liked books. I liked what I was doing. So I was making money, and I like money, so.
Hey, good money. And definitely big ups and congratulations to you for graduating.
You. Yeah.
We know that's meant a lot to you, and that was something that you were definitely dedicated to. I know that for a fact that you were dedicated to graduating. So you want to just tell the people what you graduated for? And
I now have a bachelor's degree in business administration.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, congratulations, most definitely. Definitely put in a lot of hard work, and I saw that behind the scenes. So, but apart from reselling and selling books, what other activities have you been in concerning books?
Like selling activities?
No, what other than sell? Like other than selling? Like I want her to talk about her writing.
Oh. What you getting at? In 2018, one of my friends pushed me to join a writing group. So before I was even reselling, I was looking at writing as a hustle, and I was doing it through Fiverr. I was doing writing side gigs through Fiverr. Like I don't know, like I just learned that from my parents. Like I've always had a side something. I just got really, really serious in 2019, I guess. But so yeah, I've been writing, and I published my first short story in 2018. Short stories are like my favorite thing to write. and it's mostly like thriller, horror, scary stuff that I write. Um, and yeah, like I don't know. I have hopefully an anthology coming out at the end of this year, and uh, that'll be exciting to put out some new work. It's been a while since I've published anything, but yeah, like books, and then just like different book clubs, reading book clubs, stuff like that. Because I think it's hard to be a good writer if you're never reading, so they kind of go hand in hand. So
yeah, and also like the editing work that you've done for other people, being paid for that, and just like,
yes.
just there's a lot of things dealing with writing books and that she just does in general. And what I'm gonna do, guys, she has 3 books actually on Amazon. I will leave those links in the description box below as well. And if I can get Miss Katie Reese to agree to sign 3 books for me, what I will do is I will give them away. I don't know if I want to give them away as a set yet or give them away individually. And I will let you guys decide that actually. So just comment, and in the comment just say give them away as a set or give them away individually, and then in a future video we will give those books away. So yeah, cool. Very excited for just everything that you're doing in your life when it comes to like writing, because I can't stand writing. Like I still write there and there wrong sometimes, and here, just some people be like,
You and yours.
yeah, you can't, a lot of people can't stand. I don't. I'm one of the people who's like, I don't care. Like I know what you meant. That's all that really matters to me. But very educated when it comes to everything, writing, literature, books. So if you need anything edited or written, or what do they call people like say if I had a book idea I wanted to write, but people like go to somebody else to do that for them.
Oh, like, so there's a couple different ways that you can do that. You can do like where you write some of it and then someone else ghost writes the rest, and you just like pay them. They get no royalties from the book. Like it was just a one-time thing, and they give you that work and you claim it as your own. Like that's the agreement. And then there's also like actually like transcribing, where like someone could give you audio files. Maybe that's easier for them. Like, and frankly, some people like do have barriers from being able to like type, or there's a lot of different disabilities out there. So transcribing, like they would give you audio files, you type it up for them, and then there's the option where like they just ask you to write things for them, but those are harder. Those are really hard, because let's say you wanted to write a memoir about a situation that happened. A memoir is like where you're talking about a specific point in time in your life, and that's what the book's about, is this like specific point in time in your life. You want to get things in that story that only that person, for example, I'll just use you as an example, that you smelled, saw, touched, taste. Like you want to incorporate senses even into things like where you're just talking about a memory, like a memoir. So that's what makes writing good, is having the senses in your stuff. So those are harder because like you constantly have to be going back and forth. Those types of books take longer. But it's possible. It's possible.
So you have anything planned in the future, or anything big for like your YouTube channel, Instagram, anything behind the scenes, your Etsy store or anything?
Yeah, so I mean on Etsy, just to touch on that, I've gotten into like creating bookmarks, doing ephemera, book journals, stuff like that. Just kind of just finding ways to still like serve the bookish community. So for that, I'm going to be dropping a lot more book journals, a lot more bookmarks, accessory book stuff. And by the end of this year, I'm hoping to have my anthology done. What an anthology is where it's a bunch of small short stories combined into one book. They may have like a common theme, but not necessarily connected to each other. Yeah, as far as the channel, just trying to drop more value and give good content. I don't want to make any commitments with the YouTube channel because I am still trying to figure it out myself right now. But yeah.
Figure that. No, we got a big baby coming along the way
whole
very soon.
Baby.
Very soon.
So we'll see.
So
We'll
life
see.
can definitely take. You have something planned, and then it's like, oh, you can't do that right now. So you may have a goal, but you can't finish it. That doesn't mean you can't go back to it. But
Right.
I guess one of my final questions is like, what is the biggest risks that you have taken in business?
a really, really good question. I would say the biggest risk, like you're talking like financial risk or just
Period. Like,
just period
yeah, period.
in general.
It could be risk with your time. It could be a risk with your money. It could be a risk with like a business partner that you worked with and turned out to be you got screwed over or.
So I think the biggest business risk that I ever did was, I guess, just starting, like getting into it. I think deciding that I was going to do it seriously, that was probably my biggest risk. You have to put yourself out there. I run a free book pickup service, so I have to put myself out there as a free book pickup service. So I risked, my employer at the time potentially not approving of it, or like just customer service, putting yourself out there like that, networking, like all of that is just really risky. And I just decided to do it anyways. And it just happened to work out really, really well for me. And I've been able to continue it and build it to what it is now 3 years later. But I think just deciding to do it, having that faith in yourself, like deciding I'm doing this and failure isn't an option for it.
Facts. I like that. And finally, what I will say is this. One of the main reasons, again, I wanted to have you on the channel is because, I'm sorry, you are a female. And
I'm not sorry.
Some like, oh, you only wanted me because I'm a girl. But let me tell you why. Because I am a guy, and I know some guys will only watch because I am a guy. And I know some females will only watch because you are a female.
Mm-hmm.
I want a female to get out there and like, oh my God, she's doing it. Single mom, she kicked ass. I can go out there and I can kick ass too. That's what it's about for me. The more faces that I can show people are actually out there grinding and doing this. Like, Katie's very, very, very independent. Very independent. And it's evidence that no matter what your situation is, you can make something of yourself. You can go out there and build a business. Yeah. And I want that to be shown. She don't need me, like without me, she was thriving. So with all that being said, women, do you know what I'm saying? Do what you need to do for you to build your future. You don't need a man. You don't need the man over your shoulder. It's about the energy and effort that you go out there and you put out there. So if you really want to make something of yourself, and it's not even just about reselling or books, it's about life. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you just need to hear another woman's voice, and sometimes maybe a guy needs to hear a woman's voice. Luckily, my channel is very balanced. It's around 50-50, so.
That's what his analytics say.
Yeah, shout out to YouTube analytics. But that's what it's about for me. I wanted everybody to gain the knowledge of books as well, because I don't have all the answers when it comes to books. And she's very open. If you have any questions, you can hit her up 100%. As well. Obviously, we can't answer every single one of your questions at the drop of a hat, because we already do get lots of questions from a lot of people. And, that's time consuming as well. So please be mindful of that as well. But anyways, guys, any final words?
To touch on that, like now that I am growing my YouTube channel a little bit more, I am trying to think of like membership related things, and I do want to eventually offer something to where people could join an exclusive Facebook group that's ran by me, or just something that is geared maybe towards single moms or maybe towards women that are getting into reselling and want to do books, because really there's not a whole ton of female booksellers out there for Amazon or eBay. So I guess kind of just keep an eye out for that. I may have some membership levels. I, won't make them crazy expensive or anything like that, but I would want to make sure that I'm at least giving you value to where, your ROI would be there. But that's one thing I'm hoping to do, is kind of just like being able to engage more with people, because I get a lot of DMs, but I'm not always able to get to them in a timely manner or talk to people in detail about things. So I do hope to provide, I guess, just in general, even if it's not with a YouTube membership, just in general, even if it's like a free ebook or a Google Hangout every now and then where I can answer your questions, or a YouTube Q&A every now and then live, although I'm scared of YouTube lives, but just stuff like that to where I could answer more questions and help more people, because I think books are so easy. They really are. Like, you don't have to like them, but they're a very easy product. They are low barrier to entry and super cheap or even free. So there's a lot of potential. Even if you wanted to make extra $200 a month, like, so much potential.
Cool beans.
And that's it. That's all I got.
Yeah, so guys, thank you so much for watching the channel, being a part of this video, and do not forget, Katie does have merch. Oh, yeah. That will be in the link.
Like two different designs.
Yes,
oh,
everything
two different designs.
will be in the link concerning Katie. So make sure that you go give her a follow. Go subscribe to her channel. But before you do any of that, make sure that you bless somebody today, because I promise you, I and Katie will bless somebody tomorrow. But at this point in time, your boy Tay and
Katie,
we're out.